Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night when we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. We talk about the logs, the results, the fixtures all year in Western Province Rugby. 110 clubs, for those of you that just joined us, 110 clubs and 15,000 players who play rugby every weekend across we don't know how many fields out there. Big thanks to Hisense that's on board with Cape Rugby TV as the official technical partner. Score energy drinks, you can see them on the jerseys behind me over here. Score is of course on board with Western Province Club Rugby and of course the sponsor to the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. That happens later on during the year. Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road, and of course Colour Tone, all on board with Cape Rugby TV to keep this show ticking. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Jerome Parvater, Head of Talent Identification at Western Province and of course Coach of the Under-21s at Province. Welcome back.
Yeah, JP, good to be back. Was a great, last weekend was a great weekend for club rugby. Very close score, so it was good. You can see guys are stepping up now. So it's looking good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing all about it. I think as the guys are starting to peak now. Well, some of the clubs are peaking. Clinton van Rensburg. Clint, welcome back.
Good to be here. Looking forward to chat some rugby again.
Yeah, of course you've been very active with the Craven Week side. Now we finally got you back, after the trials and everything. So we're looking forward to hearing about that.
Good. Yeah, no, there's quite a bit of news.
Excellent. Yeah. Right, folks. So this show we bring you a little bit different. Of course, it was the feature match for us, Langa against Busy Bees. Big derby match over at Langa. We went to go and film that match. That's coming up in a second or so. But one of our featured games coming up this weekend is, of course, False Bay up against Durban. That's where we're going to be going this Saturday. So this week we went out to the practice at False Bay and we went out to practice at Durban. So we got a little bit of insight from those two teams before they go head to head. But before we go to our Durban False Bay fixture preview, let's take a look and see what happened in the match. Busy Bees against Langa. Langa and Busy Bees, of course, playing at the same ground there, so not really sure who's got home ground advantage, but a big derby match for those two teams. Jerome, let's bring you into the picture here. Busy Bees going into the lead there, 19 points to 5. Looks like there was a little bit of running rugby there.
Yeah, good running rugby, good skills, and glad to see that there's a lot of these guys here that I recognize who's in the regional team, or training with the regional team. So it's good to see most of the guys, and it's good to see that a lot of the things that we've been doing in the regional team, they've been trying with the offloads and things. We work a lot on that, so it's good to see that the guys are doing it. And yeah, the handling was good, and Also, Langa at one stage scrumming Busy Bee. Busy Bee's got a big pack, but Langa was scrumming things. So
yeah. Clint, first time tackles?
Yeah, this year it's an exciting brand of rugby. So those smaller oaks are very elusive. Difficult to get your first time tackle, but no, really good play by both sides. No, good community rugby. And number 10 for Langa, Kululeku Fek, obviously the main man there with the good kicking boot and the really good distribution. So he managed the game very well, but a really good win for Busy Bees.
Yeah, well, there was certainly a bit of a comeback for Busy Bees there going into the lead, but both teams started to put some points on the board in the second half. Let's see what happened. So, a pretty close game there. 23 points to 20 for Busy Bees against Langa. Look, Jerome, I mean, this looks like a derby match. Pretty much equal. I mean, great running rugby from both sides. I must say, I thought the referee there, Peter Leroux, controlled the game well.
Yeah, and you can see he let the game flow.
Yeah.
And that last try that we saw there now, the centre of Busy Bees break the line in 9. It's a good follow through by 9 to support, because a lot of times you see there's a line break and you don't see support. So that was actually good support of them, and to score that try there at the end was good. And
big win here for Busy Bees. Clint puts them above Vineyards and Goodwood. In fact, they're racing now for the promotion spot.
Yeah, you could see the excitement and the joy afterwards. You know, there was obviously a special victory.
Yeah.
And also mention must be made of Azanda Menkwanye.
Yes,
he's the playmaker on the Busy Bee side. He had a real busy game, and he was instrumental in that last try, breaking the line once again and offloading to the nippy number 9.
Jerome, it looks like the field is starting to settle. The grass. I know we've had a bit of rain. Didn't rain over the weekend. In fact, it didn't rain on Saturday, so the weather was pretty good. Makes a bit of a difference to the running rugby.
Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, earlier in this year there was hardly grass on that field, it looks good. So I mean, so a lot of fields now in Cape Town start to look like rugby fields again.
Yeah.
And you can see, I think that's why the rugby is so exciting also, because the guys are not afraid to go down anymore now.
Yes. Right, folks. If you are watching us right now, remember you can tweet us at Cape Rugby TV. Send us your comments. In fact, we'll be looking for some nice tweets, and maybe one of you with on Twitter or even on Facebook, if you're posting, could walk away with a case of Score energy drinks from the social media side of things. We'll draw a winner from our social media comments. Let's just have a bit of fun and tell us what you think in the world of what's happening in the world of rugby. Of course, there are 2 live games at the moment. Marty's, so Stellenbosch is playing against Pringle Villagers, and then UWC is playing tonight as well. We'll get to those fixtures a little bit later in the game. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the ad break, we'll speak to the captains and coaches from Busy Bees and Langa. That's, of course, Wundisile Mnyokwana. Zimasa Malunga is the captain at Langa. Hilton Pettinger is, of course, and I'm sure his wife Shante will be very happy to hear his name. Hilton is, of course, the coach of Busy Bees, and Simpiwe Mzukwa, captain of Busy Bees, and Alfred Kawana, big favourite and fan of Cape Rugby TV. In fact, we're a big fan of his at Cape Rugby TV, always behind the scenes, of course, PR there, and it was due to him that we were out at Busy Bees and made sure that this was a fixture. If you remember, this fixture was originally cancelled, or at least postponed, because of the storm, so of that bad weather we had that weekend. So it was great to see these 2 teams back on the park. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, captains and coaches. All right, welcome back, everybody. Yes, just a quick correction. In fact, it's Stellenbosch playing against SK Warmers tonight, and UWC against Vix. We'll try and keep you posted on the scores while you're watching the show. Just keep a look at an eye on the bottom of the screen as we keep you updated in terms of the results live as they come in. All right, we managed to first speak to the coach of Langa. Of course, we were out at Busy Bees against Langa over the weekend. It was a fantastic match, a typical derby match, and of course it was a win for Busy Bees on the weekend, and I'm sure Alfred Kiwana and the boys will be very happy. But let's first speak to Langa's coach, Wundisile Mnyokwana.
This was a derby, and derbies, they go this way. It's either you win or you lose, but one will definitely lose at the end of the day. But we knew it was going to be a hard game. With the statistics, BCB were looking good. If you look at the statistics, they are sitting at number 2. They've lost only 1 game. And also they're coming to this league with that anger. They're new in the league. No one knows exactly. It was our first time playing against BCBs. And now, in terms of our preparations, we did our preparations and made sure that from the previous games we learned from our mistakes. But today, it was not only about fitness. It was about pride. It was about spirit and the environment. As you can see, that the fans were behind both teams. But at the end of the day, the best team won. But BCB today was a different BCB that I've ever watched before. They gave us a hell of a run of our money for our money. They were good. They were good. As you can see, in terms of our defense, we are well known in terms of when it comes to defense and also taking ball, going to the opposition. But they managed to stop us and force us to make errors. And at the end, it showed that in terms of persistence, it pays off, because even in the last minute, they were still coming, hoping that, because we were leading in that last minute, but with them being persistent in that last minute, it paid off. Definitely. We don't have a choice but to put this one behind us. And I for sure know that this is going to pass. We're here again next week, looking at our mistakes and prepare very strongly for Strand.
Wundisile Mnyokwana speaking to us there, Cape Rugby TV. Jerome, he seems like happy anyway.
He seems happy. It's the first time that I see a coach still smiles after a derby game like that. But as he was saying, it's like Busy Bees deserve it. So he's not feeling bad because he thinks his team put up a fight, and but he's really happy. So it's.
Well, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, it's a derby match. I mean, these guys, and they practice in the same park. They all know each other. For these two clubs, it's about the occasion. It's about the fact that TV was there and they're on TV. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah, and they certainly both played. They both gave the ball enough air. Yeah. And as a coach, you're disappointed when the team doesn't pitch up. But it certainly looked like the Langa side played well. They were leading it with a minute to go. So, you know, it's a little bit heartbreaking. But, I mean, you've got to be positive and move forward.
3 points. 3 points is a pretty close margin. We, of course, spoke to Langa's captain, Zimasa Malunga.
We knew it was going to be hard. It was a tough game. It's always a tough game playing against your rivals. They came hard in the first half. I mean, those 2 tries that we we let off. But it's no complaints now. We can't look back and look at the mistakes that we made. It's the best way is to learn from them and fix it from there. Honestly, we knew they're going to bring a big crowd. They've got girls singing for them. So I just told the boys, look here boys, if they're cheering for us too. So let's just listen to the song and enjoy it also and have fun. It was a clean game, you know. They're our friends. We're friends together. We chill together off the field, and you know, we laugh together. But in the field, we told the boys, look here, they are friends. We need to be in their faces the whole game. And I mean, it happened. We lost. Now we're gonna go chill with them and you know, and laugh about it. Look here, we believe that we're still on for the league. It's a good thing that we're off this week. We're coming on Wednesday and Thursday, you know, to look at our mistakes and just fix it from there, and look at the drawing board and fix the mistakes that we made today, and look forward to the next games and still maybe hopefully contest for the league.
Captain Zimasa Malunga there is, of course, been on Cape Rugby TV many times before. We've managed to speak to him on a number of occasions. What a great leadership there, Jerome. I mean, he's led from the front for quite a while now, and the guys always have such a great spirit.
Yeah, and if I just hear what he say like they're friends with a lot of those guys, so they talk to each other, they know each other. And in the spirit that the game was playing, JP, I mean, it's a derby. People think that if it's a derby, you need to fight and you need to. But in the spirit, it was just rugby there. And I think that's why both, they can also smile. I mean, lose at the end and they still smile and they're happy. And I think at the end, this is what club rugby is about. It's about friendship and about enjoying the game. Still play hard. You don't need to fight. You don't need to. And this is a true example of how I think club rugby should be.
No, it is actually fantastic. I don't know, Clint, if you want to add anything to that, but I mean, that's what you want. You want a good, clean game. You want good spirit. You want a captain who's positive, and not only, but also smart. I mean, we're not just seeing captains here anymore in club rugby today that are just there as you know, pick the first guy out the team. Zimas has been leading that team for a very long time. The guys are the skill level, and I mean, as he was saying there, they would come back on the Wednesday and analyze the game. There's a lot more thinking that's going into it now.
Yeah, it's a great advert for club rugby, but with two positive people like that at the head of it, that's how you're going to grow club rugby for the community. Yeah. And that's what we ultimately want. We want a safe environment for the players and for the spectators. So well done to those two clubs.
All right. Gentlemen, that's been at Busy Bees for a very, 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 very long time, and in fact, I've been out there so many times, not only to shake hands with Hilton, but also the family that's out there, real family environment. We managed to speak to Busy Bees coach Hilton Pettinger.
Yes, this is my 7th year now at Busy Bees, and it feels like a second home to me, and I am very proud of the boys. I'm very proud of our club, and I love my club, Busy Bees, and I love the players also. I just need to say this, yes, it is mayhem on the field on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Wednesday night, but Langa plays on only one field. Busy Bees and Young Ideas, we share a field, so that means 3 teams of Busy Bees must practice on only 50 meters of field, so that's why I'm so proud of the players, because we only use 1/2 of our field. I felt positive about the game, and I must say this, we knew from the get-go, Langa is a very, very good team, and we knew we had to be at our best to beat Langa today. And it didn't help when we lost one of our players on the 35th minute with a red card. So we played basically the second half with only 14 players. But Langa they are very good. I must give them that, definitely. Listen, I knew if we would play in Langa's half for the last couple of minutes, we can still win this game. But when our center broke through, and and our scrum half scored, that was like one of the best feelings ever. But I knew we could make it, definitely, until the final end. Definitely, we play Amadeus next week here in Langa. But as the captain said, we take it game by game, and we definitely do not underestimate any team. Whether the team is number 1 or number 10 or number 5 on the log, we take every game very seriously, and we approach it in that way.
Hilton Pettinger has been, as you heard there, has been on with Busy Bees for 7 years now, and that's about as long as Cape Rugby TV's been in operation. 7 years, Jerome, at a club. That's a nice a milestone.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, Hilton is one of the guys who's always talking. Whenever we have something, coaching seminars, he's there asking and things. So you can see he's putting the work in. So well done to him, and I mean he's stayed with the club, and the club is just growing. So
Clint,
it's good.
Do you think you're going to ever stay 7 years at the club?
Well, yeah, listen, I'm old schooler, so I do serve my time. I do serve my time, but
yeah, you've done the hard yards.
Yeah. Very difficult, I must say. I mean, just listening to that, there's 3 teams that need to train in 50 meters and one half of the field. You know, as coaches, sometimes we get irritated if you just have another team on the field. So, well done to the coaching team for keeping it, amicable.
Yeah, I must say the Langa facilities, though, they're not bad. You know, there's a nice clubhouse. It's looked after there. There's football fields right next door. There's the 2 rugby fields, and the guys look after the space. And you know, there's never any problems there. I've been there plenty times, and I love going to Langa. Really, and that little stadium just works. You know, everyone's enjoying it. And the one thing that I've always enjoyed about the Langa atmosphere is the fans. When they start singing on the stands, you know, you've got a gees there that the community is really behind the 2 teams. So yeah, no, Hilton, to you and Shantae and the family and that are out there, and you know, fantastic stuff, and congratulations on sticking around there. But now let's speak to Busy Bees captain Simpiwe Mzukwa.
Yeah, it was as tough as expected, but we prepared very well for it. So it was a tough game indeed. Yeah, it was much expected for it to be a big game, but thanks to the coaches and the fans and everyone who was behind us, supporting us throughout the week and throughout the season as well. Yeah, our plan is to take it step by step, game by game. We'll see at the end of the season, just win every week. That will take us far as our plans. Obviously, we'll go back to the field and to the practice, and we will hear from the coaches. But the plan is simple for us as a BZB, take each and every game as it comes and move forward from then. This one is done with it.
There we go. Welcome back, folks. Simpiwe Mzukwa just talking to us there. Right. Behind every club is an administrator or a volunteer or somebody that keeps the wheels turning. One of the folks that keeps the wheels turning at Langa and at Busy Bees, in fact, well, he's been involved with Busy Bees now for a very, very long time, but everybody works together to make things work around the Langa sports fields. But behind the scenes at Busy Bees is a stalwart of Western Province Club Rugby, Alfred Kewana. And he's always giving us a phone call. He's always keeping us up to date and keeps us informed. And I must say to Alfred and the guys that are out there, you guys do a fantastic job. Let us introduce you to Alfred Kewana.
This was a huge game we're waiting for. Even the day that was postponed, this community was not happy, but there was nothing that we can do. But I think today they are very happy to have such a brilliant game with a lot of skills and mindset. I think we're really up for it. It is really because both teams have been under a good guys. I know Mahlupu's the dude help on Langa side, which is there up in Eserabi. Then we got the Springbok on our side, our boy here, Jonginokwe. So he came with another ideas and other types of skills that we can maintain our games. We are smelling it. We are smelling Super B now because I think we're going to have 3 games at home and the last one will be at Scottsdale. So I think the 3 games, this should be our House of Spain, if we can say. I really respect Langa. You know, they've been there for years. So at least, you know, that experience to play on high level there. We just came from the regions. So there's things that we still need to learn. And our boys that just came through our academy, they are still average age 21, 20, up to 25. There's not even one boy that is 30 years in that team. So we've got something to learn on to from upwards. I can say my heart was white inside. I don't know how do I ran to go there. Because when he was running, I can say I was running with him to push him to score. I was just saying, go boy, go boy. It was a mad feeling because I know if should be beaten today, I was not going to get my supper.
Alfred Kawana, folks. Now you know why we love Alfred so much. If you're watching that snippet there. Clint, what a gees, eh?
Yeah, real positive energy. You know, it really gives me great pleasure when I see the 5 gentlemen, all of them talking so well and so positive and with no complaints, just loving the game and doing it for their communities. So well done to them. But yeah, real character, Alfred.
Jerome, you know Alfred well.
Yeah, but smelling Super B.
Hey, they can smell it.
So 3 games and you smell Super B, so that's a good sign for Alfred. But Alfred, yeah, he's passionate about his club, and every Monday he makes sure that he himself bring his guys to the regional practice at Stellenbosch. So he'll do whatever it takes to get these boys there. And also a good thing is that Jongi is helping them there with his experience there. So it's good for Jongi also to be involved.
Yeah, that's of course Jongi Nokwe, the former Springbok rugby player.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just great what they're doing, and like Clint was saying, I mean, both clubs, it's just positive.
All right, folks, that was, of course, Busy Bees in Langa. That was our feature match over the weekend, and you can see why it is that was our feature match. Fantastic game, typical derby match, and real community spirit. All right, we're, of course, going to be featuring a little bit later in the show, or at least when we come back, we'll start taking a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. Remember, of course, at the moment, it is Stellenbosch playing against SK Warmers. You can keep watching your screen for the results, and UWC are playing against Vic. So keep watching, and we'll post the results as they come in. So Twitter at Cape Rugby TV, and also hashtag WP Club Rugby, and we'll be sharing your comments. So please feel free to tweet us at Cape Rugby TV and #WP Club Rugby, and we'll see if we can include your comments. So let those comments keep flowing. Right, as we mentioned earlier on, if you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all you need to do now is grab your phone and SMS the word SCORE to 33090, 33090, and you put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks. Right, congratulations, of course, to last week's winner, Nicholas van Rooy. Nicholas, congratulations. You walk away with a case of Score energy drinks. Someone from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly. It's a fantastic drink, nice energy drink, perfect to drink just before a rugby practice session. Folks, as we mentioned earlier on, False Bay are up against Durban this weekend. When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the fixtures coming up and we'll preview this match. Durban against False Bay, 2 of the top teams in Super League A at the moment. And we'll get a feeling from the coaches and from the players as to how they feel about this big fixture coming up this weekend. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. We bring you the best of the world of Western Province Club Rugby every Wednesday here on Cape Town TV from 9 o'clock through to 10 o'clock. And remember to repeat on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 a.m. Let's take a quick look at the results over the weekend. False Bay beating Vix 27 points to 3. Hamiltons went down to Durban 24-22. Pernille Villages went down to Union Mill 71-22. Primrose went down to Brackenfell 19-12. And Stellenbosch with a victory over Tygerberg 29-23. Jerome, False Bay with a victory over Vix 27-3. Expected result?
I would say so, but not the score. You can see the students were in a long layoff, so I think that didn't help them a lot. But I knew False Bay was going to be strong, but Vix started well this season, so yeah, I think that layoff must have taken a lot out of them.
Clint, other match there, Durban beating Hamiltons. Durban's getting stronger by the week.
Yeah, they have certainly turned their season around and moving forward. So that's a really good win away from home for the Durbanville boys.
Yeah. And then, of course, Union Mill over Pernille Villages. Jerome, 71-22. Pernille struggling still a little bit, and Milnerton maybe gaining a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Ismail this year it's their first year in Super A, so they're doing well, Ismail and the boys there, but Pernille Villages need to do something because they're struggling a bit.
And then Brackenfell with a 19-12 win over Primrose, and Stellenbosch 29-23 over Tygerberg. For the last few weeks we said if there's a team that's going to beat Stellenbosch, it was going to be Tygerberg. This was a close game.
Yeah.
I don't know, gentlemen, any one of you?
Yeah, actually last week we said that Tygerberg can cause an upset there. And Ricky must be he can't be happy with that. I think he's a bit disappointed because he put everything in that game, and they've done well so far this season. But Stellenbosch is a tough team, but that's unfortunately.
I suppose maybe in a way, Clint, maybe it was an expected kind of result. Marty's is a stable class outfit, and Tygerberg is coming through strong. But maybe just the Marty's dominance just a bit too much.
Yeah, you don't go to Gutenberg and just get a win, you know, especially against a well-structured side. Tygerberg has the ability to run any side right, but I think Marty's at the end obviously closed up shop and were full value for the win. I think a lot of it also Jono and Nicky Viljoen, you know, I think there was a lot of praying going on from their side, wanting a Tygerberg win. So
that certainly would have made things a little bit easier on the log. So Marty's already, now that they've come back, I think they're now 6 games under the belt. They've still got a whole lot of a whole lot of games in hand, and will be starting to climb up the log table, so to speak. The big game for us this weekend is going to be False Bay against Durban, and you can see why, and we'll preview that match in a sec. Let's quickly look at the results in Super League B. It was Collegians with a 1 point a loss to Young Peoples. Kraaifontein 36-17 over Rangers. Kuilsriver with a 17-10 win over Franschhoek. St. George's 44-29 over Hansenarts. And then Villagers 19-14 over Helderberg, while Violets beat Paarl 27-22. In Super League C, All Saints with a 1 point win over Scottsdene. Hamadiers went down to Strand United. Langa Busy Bees, as you know, Busy Bees walked away with that win there in Wraithby. 13-29 loss against Goodwood, while Vineyards beat Cullimore 37-31, and Young Stars went down to Strand. In the City League, Manenberg Rangers 55-7 over Temperance, Masipumlele 55-6 over Tech, Police 37-0 over Young Ideas, and Western Zebras went down to Silvertree 23-15. Silverleaf in the Southern League 27-33 loss against Rocklands. Titans beat Atlantis 8 points to 5. Meanwhile, in the Northern League, it was a win for Yesterafir, it was a win for Imikawi, and Blue Jays took a 41-27 win over Van Estel. And in the Paarl League, of course, it was a win for Violets Paarl over Windmill United, and Young Standards lost to Allendale. Right, folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a quick look at the logs, and then we'll move into the preview of Durban and False Bay. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. Remember, keep tweeting at Cape Rugby TV and #WP Club Rugby. You could be one of the winners with the best comment that walks away with a case of Score energy drinks. All right, let's quickly look at the logs in Super League A. As you know, our featured game this weekend is going to be Durban against False Bay. It's going to be a home ground advantage for False Bay. Then we'll go to the interviews. Now you'll see in Super League A, False Bay are currently top of the log. They've played 11 matches with 48 points, followed by Hamilton's and Durban. So they're very equal. It's 11 points each side, and that's where we're heading at the moment. Now you can see Marty's still got a lot of games in hand, but False Bay 11, Durban 11. False Bay sitting with 48 points on the log, so they're log leaders right now, and Durban 41. Jerome, this is obviously the game of the weekend. It's going to be one of the toughest matches. 2 top teams. Really what Super League A is cut out to be, as we've said, it's one of the toughest leagues. So this is going to be a monster match.
Yeah, I think Durban, I think that's 8 straight wins in a row.
Yeah.
So anything can happen over this weekend. I mean, False Bay is a strong side, but if they can get points there, they would look good, because then they have Marty's, and I think they have UWC left, and then that's their season. But False Bay, top of the log, so they don't want to lose a game, because anything can happen.
Clint, it's home ground advantage for False Bay. When you take 2 top teams like this, they're both on form at the moment. They've both got momentum. They kind of got the wind in their sails, so to speak. Will home ground advantage for False Bay make the difference?
I reckon False Bay at home is going to be very difficult to turn over. They also have played a number of high quality, high level matches, so they're used to the pressure. I think if my Super Brew is anything to go by, I'm not going to call this one.
No. Let's not go down the road Super Brew at the moment. Okay? There's a couple of teams that let me down over the weekend. All right, folks, we went out there, and fantastic for us now to preview the teams before the game. The False Bay guys, as you know, they train quite hard. They train very regularly outside of the facilities and the gym facilities, and one of those facilities is CrossFit. And we managed to speak to some of the guys at their training session.
excited. I think it's going to be a cracker. Yeah, and the boys must pitch and play.
I think if we come together and play as a team and keep in mind our structures and system, I think we can have one over Durban.
Every weekend's always a test to us. I think this year we've done pretty well. But nevertheless, Durban's a good outfit. They've been trained well, and good encounter for this weekend. Yeah, it's scrum time. Yeah, gonna be excited.
Oh, quite a lot of hardcore training there. CrossFit there. Clint, it looks like the guys are giving it horns there.
Yeah, Alicia, I tell you what, it looks like a scary session. But the false play guys are renowned for their tough mental approach, and you can see by the way they work out and their physical approach to the game. And that's why things like CrossFit obviously it's a big part of their strategy.
All right. Well, the conditioning, I suppose, continuously during the season, very important, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not many clubs as that, but I know they've been doing it since last year.
Yeah.
They've been doing this CrossFit twice a week, so it worked for them.
All right. Let's go now to the captain, Graham Knoop, otherwise known as Snoopy, who's been on the show with us before. Old fan of Cape Rugby TV. We're, of course, a big fan of Snoop as well. And if you speak to Snoop, he will always tell you that the Bay has too much gears. So let's see what he has to say this time around.
We often liken ourselves to Durban. We think we're quite similar in club capacity, similar in play and style and the way we approach our games. Both packs are going to have a full crack at each other, and I think ultimately it'll come down to the team which makes less mistakes, few errors, and is just as consistent as possible through the game. It manages to get through as many phases as possible. I think that'll be the team that wins on Saturday. Yeah, it's make no mistake about it. It's not easy coming through week after week, Monday after Monday. It's cold, it's raining, your body's sore after Saturday, coming down to CrossFit. But all the players buy into it. We talk about the gears, and gears isn't just about having fun, it's also about doing the hard graft. And when guys do that, they feel like they're part of something. They're really a part of a team and making a special contribution. So 100% Mondays down here, it's tough, it's not easy, but everyone buys in. And everyone in all our different teams are first, our seconds, our thirds, and it looks like the efforts really do pay off with the results on the field.
Welcome back, folks. Yes, so of course, Captain Graham Knoop talking to us there. We're running a little bit tight on time, so we're going to get straight through to it. And let's speak now to the assistant coach, Ryan Williams.
No, definitely. Obviously, Super League, I'd like to think it's probably the toughest league in the country. It's highly contested. Every single week is certainly not a given. We have to make sure we prepare and prepare correctly for every single game coming up. Obviously, going into Durban this weekend, our friends from the north, we know it's always going to be an extremely tough game. A lot of respect for them. And we'll obviously plan accordingly. Like I said previously, we've got a lot of respect for them. I don't think we've changed too much this week. I think we're going to focus a little bit on breakdown. That's where we will find wanting against Vix. So we'll take it from there. But in terms of how we prepare each week exactly the same. We don't treat any team any differently. Obviously in Super A League, you can go out on any given Saturday. If you don't perform, if you don't perform, you lose.
Assistant coach there, Ryan Williams. Of course, Jono van der Walt is the coach at False Bay. The technical side of things now gets quite serious, Clint. There's going to be a lot of technical analysis. Slab, Ryan there, he's very involved in the world of technical analysis, and he'll be going through every detail for this weekend.
Yeah, the False Bay boys would have received the slab report.
The slab report, yeah.
With a lot of detail. They would have worked out Durbanville, their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And again, you've got to be technically sound for those games, but as Knurpie said as well, it's going to be a physical game between those two packs of forwards. And at the end, it's going to come down to who makes the least of the mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a hell of a game. I'd like to go and watch that one.
Right, well, let's keep both sides ticking. Let's take a look now at the training at Durban. We were there last night.
Jy psych nooit jouself op nie. Jy hoef nie jouself op te psych. Ek probeer al hier by die klub. As jy al deur die week aan is jy al reg vir dit. So dis iets wat net gebeur.
En ek dink die winning factor Saterdag gaan wees, ek dink dit gaan die hond wees wat die hongerste is, wat bo gaan uitkom.
Right, Jerome, I know that the teams today, some days they're in the gym, some days they're on the field. False Bay was in the gym on Monday, probably on the field with Jono on Tuesday. Durban on the field yesterday as well. They look like they're up for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, 8 straight wins in a row, so they would look to keep that momentum. It's going to be tough, yeah. But you can see the work that they put in, and it looks like a more relaxed session also.
Yeah. You got to have a bit of time out, and not take it too seriously, just to calm down the nerves and get the nervous energy out the system.
Yeah, certainly 2 different approaches. I know Jono is quite big on being away from the field, so he keeps the guys fresh. But a nice clarity session from Bobby would be good as well. Obviously worked a lot on their defence there, as we could see.
Yeah.
There are 2 different approaches. Let's see what the result brings.
Well, let's see what Durban's coach Bobby Joubert has to say. He's of course no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. Been on the panel with us many times, and I'm sure we're going to get him back on the show, possibly even next week, to tell us how it went. And remember, keep tweeting us at Cape Rugby TV and use the hashtag #WP Club Rugby. Let's see what Bobby Joubert has to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it was a well-deserved win for the Derbies family. I think we've been playing well the past 7-8 games. That's 8 wins in a row, so it's well-deserved. The guys have been putting their hard yards on the practice field. It's a 3-week test series for us, so we've got 1 behind us, so 2 left. It's going to be tough. It doesn't get easier, especially there by False Bay. They're number 1 on the log now, and they're the team to beat in this competition. Most definitely. I think we're 2 clubs that are very similar. We play the same brand, we've got the same culture, we've got a good spirit, and the guys play for each other. And when we meet each other on the field, it's always a battle, and that's a great thing. And I think it's going to be a great display of good running Western Province rugby and physicality. Well, it's going to be the team that makes the least mistakes. Like I said, it's like a test series, test match. The team that makes the least mistakes will definitely win it. I think it's going to be a kick, penalty. It's going to be a bad decision here or there. That's going to be the decider for this weekend.
All right, folks, before we go back to Clint and Jerome to find out their opinion, let's speak to Captain Ashton Kossad, of course, also no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. He's captaining at Durban at the moment, and I'm sure he'll be up for the game.
We look forward playing False Bay. We've got a good understanding between the clubs, hard-fought battle every time we play them. So looking quite forward to it, and yeah, it's going to be a tough one there by them. Oh, well, it's a cost of a toy, because both teams can actually play the ball quite good wide, and I think it's on the day what both teams portray on the field. So I think it can be a fast-paced game and physical too. Both teams are quite equal where playing ability comes to, and with strategy and all that. But I think who's the hungriest on the day? Well, we've got a good camaraderie going on here between the guys. And I think it's a brotherhood, eh? These guys care for each other week in, week out. As you can see, braving the cold and coming out and doing it for their club, eh? Club honours, club colours, that's what it's all about. I think our coaching team planned strategically for this leg of the games, and I think we are prepared. Physically you can't do much, but mentally you can refresh the guys and keep them in a good space.
All right, Clint, pretty much as you were saying, what Bobby was saying there as well, it's going to come down to the team with the least mistakes.
Yeah, and so both teams are going to have a crack at it, certainly by running a bit of rugby, running rugby. Maybe discipline might sneak into it as well. So the side that the most disciplined might sneak this one.
Yeah.
You know.
Jerome?
Yeah, I don't think none of them want to mention it, but the beginning, I think the first game of Durban, I actually went to watch the friendly game. Durban beat them there, so they don't want to mention that, so there's something
yeah. All right, let's move now to the Craven week, but there again, just a reminder then, it's False Bay Durban, that's our pick of the week. Look out for the highlights from that game next weekend. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Keep tweeting at Cape Rugby TV and #WP Club Rugby, and we'll keep you updated on the bottom of the screen here. Just keep watching. We'll keep you updated on the results. Stellenbosch, or Marties at least, against SK Warmers, and UWC is currently playing. Who's UWC playing tonight? Is it
Vix?
Vix. UWC is playing Vix at the moment. We'll keep the results coming in. Of course, those are results coming in from you, so we're sharing it out there. Clint, quickly touching on the Craven Week results there. Western Province beating Boerland, and then beating KZN, and then a loss to the Bulls.
Yeah, that's on the academy front. It's been 3 years now we've played the Bulls in the final, so we're still 2-1 up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game could have gone either way. I think just Western Province boys maybe a little bit off kilter on the day, and the Bulls sneaking that win.
Well, they said at the capping ceremony that the Bulls was going to be their bogey side.
Yeah, this year, I tell you what, they certainly have the material to work with. Some big, strong, fast guys.
Yeah.
So you've got to be on your game if you're going to beat them. So well done to the Bulls guys for pulling this one through.
And then on the Craven Week side, Western Province beat the Pumas 36-10. Then you drew with the Lions, and then of course you went down to the Cheetahs.
Yeah, many people dubbed that second game on the Wednesday as the final. Lions went on to win the unofficial final at the end against the Sharks quite comfortably.
Right.
So that Western Province game was quite a big game, and the boys played well. The Western Province guys could have had it, but as you know, at that top level, you've got to be on your game. And I must say, the home side obviously got a little bit of the advantage on the day, I would say.
Home ground advantage always makes a difference, can make the difference. Let's quickly take a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend, folks. In Super League A, it's of course Union Mill, they're up against Tygerberg. Stellenbosch take on Belhar. SK Warmers and NTK, Primrose and UWC. Peniel Villages and Vix. False Bay take on Durbanville. That's where we will be. Super League B, we see Young Peoples against St. George's, Violets and Collegians. Rangers Helderberg, Paarl, Kraaifontein, Hands and Hearts Villages, Franschhoek and Silurians. And then Vineyards are up against Young Stars. Strand United take on Laguna. Goodwood and Carlamore, Busy Bees and Hamadias. And in the City League is Young Ideas and Perseverance. Watsonia, Manenberg, Silver Tree, Caledonian Roses. Police are up against Garden Tech, playing at Terry to Blanche. Right, that is a wrap of our fixtures. The results, Durban False Bay coming up this weekend is going to be a monster game, probably one of the biggest games in Super League A this week, at least this season. We're looking forward to that. Jerome, any ideas where you're going to be this weekend?
Too many games, JP. I can't tell now.
Villagers, Clint?
Yeah, we are away to Hands on Hearts. So another important match. They're all important. So yeah, looking forward to the fixture.
Well, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun there because the fans will be out there in their droves at Hands on Hearts. The Rainbow Boys have always got a lot of fans around the field.
Yeah, no, this year we're expecting a running game from them. They're going to certainly lift the tempo. So the boys in white will need to keep a good defensive line if we're going to keep our hopes up for pushing for title honours.
Well, please tell the Western Province Craven Week and the Academy side boys, we say congratulations and well done regardless of the results, as long as they had fun.
Yeah, and I just want to mention the under 13 Western Province side and the Grand Coma under 16s. They actually won their weeks as well, so there's nothing wrong with the Western Province schools rugby.
Oh, well, that's fantastic stuff, Jerome. Have a fantastic rugby weekend, and we'll see you again hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Never
we'll
really
be back.
Sure. Thank you for like next week or depending on where you are. Clint, thanks a lot. Have a good rugby weekend.
Thank you very much.
Right, folks, that is a wrap from us. We hope you've had an enjoyable show. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.